Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com with your next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 391, counting down to 400. Now, we will do something wonderful for our 400th YouTube class. Don't know what it is yet, but I promise you we'll do something fabulous for you guys and offer some kind of giveaway or special or who knows what it is, so stay tuned. Now, if you are watching this Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Sunny California time, we are live chatting over here, so there's live chat going on. And if you'd like to join the live chat, we ask that you subscribe. There's a heart right down there. You just hit that little heart right over here and subscribe to our channel. And if you're watching this after our premiere, well, we ask that you leave a comment for us down below, because if you do, you have a chance to be a winner chicken dinner and receive a $25 gift card. Now today I have got amazing products. Well, I love what I do. I really do. I love what I do. There's no question about it. But I have got such a deal for you from Spellbinders and Fun Stampers Journey. I mean, really, such a deal. I have got new product from Couture Creations, and there's new exclusive Versus stamps for you, and Stampendous, and 2 new exclusive Simply Defined Kaleidoscope stencils, so my layering stencils. I have got so much to share with you, so much to show you, so much to teach, but you're gonna go with me on this one. We're gonna have a lot of fun, I promise. I really do. Now, winner chicken dinner. I have these 2 people, because I don't know if the second one is a girl or a guy. So I have 2 lovely SMS peeps who've won a $25 gift card. How did they do that? Well, they subscribed to our YouTube station by hitting that heart, and then they posted a comment below, and it was polite and kind and nice and generic. It can just be hey or hi. It was approved, and then our random software selected them to be a winner of a $25 gift card. Could be you next time. You just never know. But if you don't subscribe, then I know it will never be you. So we are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. I'm just about at 91,000. At this rate, it will be sometime next year before we hit 100,000. But you know what? I'm the slow and steady wins the race type of girl, and I'm the train that just could and would and refused to give up. So we're just gonna keep chugging down that track until we finally get there. Now for winner chicken dinner, I'm gonna do that now because I had a phone call today. I actually had 2 phone calls, but this one really stuck with me. And sometimes I'm human, and I really had to, I really just had to take a deep breath and figure out how to get through this call and still be me, which is I'm polite. I had to figure this out, but I'm going to tell you about that phone call in just a minute. No names mentioned, I promise, because I know that this person is watching. I know, I'm sure. Okay, so our first winner chicken dinner is, Margine Eskelson? Is that you? Am I even close to that? Is it Margine or Margine? Margine sounds so foreign and so exotic. If that is you, you are a winner chicken dinner. Congratulations. Now our second winner, I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. Is it Rai or Riri McCordick? I don't know. But it doesn't matter because you're a winner chicken dinner. Congratulations to you too. You've also got a $25 gift card in your online account that is already there for you. How are you going to spend it? Now, I do want to say that I did see a couple comments in last week's YouTube where one person from Canada said, I know I'm from Canada and I can't be a winner, but I just wanted to tell you I really enjoyed the YouTube. Honey, you can be a winner chicken dinner. You can. Do you have a shipping address? If you do, we'll ship the prize to you however you spend your money. You may use that $25 to cover your shipping costs and therefore have free shipping no matter what you spend. Whatever. If we can get it to you, doesn't matter what country you live in, you qualify. Also, I read a comment that it seems that that proper names, you have to have a proper name to be a winner chicken dinner. Oh my gosh, no way. If you go back and watch some of these YouTubes, I have read some pretty strange usernames. Trust me, I have. The biggest challenge with that is trying to figure out who you are so we can add the money to your online account. That's our biggest challenge. Usually we can figure it somehow, most of the time, the username that's not a proper name, their email address has something close to that, and we're able to narrow it on down. And then every now and then I just have to say, we can't find you. Can you email us and let us know who you are? But you don't have to have, your username can be anything. It can be whatever it is. We'll still call it out. If you're our winner, you're our winner. So don't feel that international peeps can't win, or if you don't use your real name for your username for YouTube, it's okay. If I can, I was going to say, if I can pronounce it, you can win, but let's be clear. This is me we're talking about. If I can hold the sheet up to the camera, you can win. Okay, let's do our winner dance. Are you ready? You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, cut you. For you. Congratulations to both of you. $25 should already be in your online account. Go spend it on anything that makes your heart happy. Okay, now my phone call. I had 2 phone calls today, but I'm only going to talk about one of them, and it has to do with the warehouse sale. Please know we are still working on orders up to 210085. 210085, 84, 83, 82, 81, 79, all the way down. If you have a warehouse sale order from July, and this only pertains to people who placed a warehouse sale order in July. If you ordered something in February of this year, this doesn't pertain to you at all. But if you placed an order during that warehouse sale and you are 210085, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80, 79, all the way down, your order has either shipped, it is waiting to be fulfilled, it is being fulfilled, it is waiting to be quality controlled, it is quality controlled, it is waiting to be packed, it is awaiting shipment, or like I said, it's already shipped off to you. That is where we are in the sale. One person working on pulling orders, one person shipping. That's all we've got right now. So this phone call came in, and one of the SMS girls tried to handle it and was not getting anywhere. I mean, Sweet Bee, she really is. She's as sweet as can be, and she's hard of hearing, and so she just does her absolute best. But Sweet Bee tried to handle it, and it wasn't going to happen. So I was happy to take the phone call and try to explain the best as I could. And the nice lady on the phone said, I've watched the YouTube at least 5 times, and she said, I don't understand why it's taking this long, and I heard what you said, but. So to me, when somebody says, I heard what you said, but, it means everything I just said before the word but doesn't really matter. Just ignore that. So I pulled up her order, and I saw that she had ordered about $75 worth of product, maybe a little bit more, but there was not one item over 75 cents. She had 25-cent items like crazy, 25 cent, 25 cent, 25 cent. And I explained to her, there's the bulk of the orders come in on the first day. About 80% of the orders come in on the first day. So the first day takes us the longest. But after the first day, those subsequent days go much faster. But we do have to take the orders in the order received. We don't let anybody jump ahead. Doesn't matter if you bought just 25 cents or you bought $1,000. Everybody deserves to be treated fairly. That's just the way it is. So she was saying that we really needed to hire more people. And it took me a moment, and I said, gosh, I would love to be able to do that. But I see that your order has almost all the items were under 75 cents, most of them 25 cents. I said, there's just not a lot of profit in 25 cents. I said, I don't get these items for free. I actually have to pay for them. So how much profit can be in 25 cents? And she said, well, that's not my problem. And I said, well, I suppose it's not your problem. I get that. But you watch the YouTube and we're doing the best we can, and look at how much money you saved and what value you've got. And we just appreciate it if you could just, you're just going to have to wait your turn. And she really just wasn't having any of it from me. And so I did my best, but there came a point where I just, I couldn't go any further with her. And I just said, we appreciate your business, we appreciate your support, we appreciate your understanding, and we will get to it as quickly as possible. Just keep watching the YouTubes because I update on the YouTube. And so her comment, just go hire more people, kind of resonated. It kind of stung just a little bit. Zing! Because I tried to explain to her, she said, that's not my problem about the profit. And she said, that's not my problem. And I said, well, ma'am, the sale isn't about making profits. The sale is about keeping crafting affordable. Trust me, this is not a big profit-making event. Believe me. How can you make profit off of 50 cents? Let's be clear. Come on. And she said, then why even bother doing it? And I said, because I want to keep crafting affordable. It is important to me that we keep this hobby going. If I don't keep the hobby going, I'm out of a job. My customers who are local are out of a store. My employees are out of a job. And so maybe you bought that stamp for 50 cents or $1. And it was a $8 stamp and you got it for $1 and you'd never have a stamp before. This is the first time you were able to afford one. Well, now you got to buy some ink to go with the stamp. And who knows, maybe you buy a memento ink for $2.29 from me and I make a little profit off of that. And then maybe you need some paper, so maybe you get a $6 pack of my white cardstock to go with that. And you subsequently add things to your stash. That's what the sale is about. Allowing people who couldn't afford these items to begin with to continue to craft. And then if they need subsequent items, we hope that they shop either with their local independent retailer or shop online with us. But it isn't because we're going to retire off of a warehouse sale, let me tell you. No can do. So ma'am, we will do our best to get to your order, but you have a huge order and only one person to pull it. And at 25 cents and 50 cents an item, I can't hire a second person to make it go faster. I am really, really sorry, but I appreciate your understanding. And for all of you, if you want to email us and ask questions where my order is, please know we are only up to 210085, and I cannot give you an ETA when we will get to your order, because this nice lady who ordered all of the product for 25 cents, it'll probably take 3 hours to pull her order. And then it will take another 2 hours to quality control it and probably 30 minutes to pack it. And so I told her, gosh, if everybody just ordered 3 things, well, we'd be done with the sale, but that's not what happened. So there's my little rant for today, and I apologize, but I know she's watching. And please know, I wish I could have given you the answers you were looking for. I really do. And I understand the sale is not for everybody, but it is for some people. And gosh, I hope that you enjoy all of those items, because I went and looked up how much it would cost if you were to buy them today. Well, I looked up if I got a bee in my bonnet, so I got a bee in my bonnet. So I looked up if she were to buy them at full price, it would have been close to $1,000 for what she purchased. Close to $1,000. But some of them are on sale other places, so I even took the sale price. Even at the sale price, she would have spent $650 for the items that she bought, that she got for $76. Doesn't that say it all right there? Okay, so I'm going to tilt down and I'm going to get started for today, and I really do appreciate you showing me the grace of being able to get that out, because it was a struggle for me. I have to tell you it was. I'm just human too, but I hope that I was able to explain it to her in a manner that that was kind and made sense. Sometimes I know I don't make sense, but anyway. All right, I'm going to tilt on down for today. We're going to get started, and hopefully you're still with me, and if not, well, it was good to have you. Down we go. Just never know who's gonna stay and who's gonna go. Should I stay or should I go now? Let me zoom in. Let me straighten out a little bit. Zoom in. Oh, maybe I didn't need to straighten out as much as I thought I did. Okay, hands. I'm trying to figure out where my mat is. There we go. Okay, so samples for today. Ooh, right? What do we think? It is not plaid. I'm going to tell you that right now. The stencil is not a plaid stencil, but we'll get to that. So start simple, and then we could get a little more adventurous. And then we're going to totally do something completely different with a totally different stencil. What do you think? Oops, and I forgot I was supposed to show you, because this has got all of the sentiments on these are from the verses. This is, let's see, cut not the wings of your dreams, for they are the heartbeat and the freedom of your soul. So this one, I opened it, Doris. I did. I opened it. Okay. And then we have, so this is a verses, and this is a verses, part of the verses sets. This is a new Simply Defined stencil. And this is part of the verses set. And this is a new Simply Defined stencil. And this is part of the verses set. There's actually 2 sets and a new Simply Defined stencil. So I'm going to put those over here for right now. And I'm going to pull out a kaleidoscope stencil. And we're going to start with this one here. What is a kaleidoscope stencil? Well, it's a layering stencil done by Simply Defined, which is my brand. So the only place you're going to find them is at Scrapbooking Made Simple. They are value priced, which means that there's no additional sale price on top of it. It is 3 stencils, or maybe I should zoom back just a little bit. Maybe I got ambitious with that zoom. There are 3 stencils that make up the set, and they can be mixed and matched and layered however you want to do it. It's really up to you. I could do a stripe here, I could do a stripe there, and here I've got a geometric. Now, they may look like they're the same stencil, like, well, Stacy, why didn't you just turn this one over that way? They are not the same stencil. The idea is that when you stencil with them, the stencil that goes on top acts as a mask and covers up some of the stencil below it and continuing on, so that you're able to get a very layered looking stencil. They are value priced at $9.99. And again, the only place you're going to find them is Scrapbooking Made Simple. Now, I put these little tabs on them to help you tape them down, just to make things a little easier. And next time I am going to ask if they can cut out a little 1, a little 2, and a little 3 out of maybe part of the tab, just so it can be marked, because I know several of you want them to be marked 1, 2, and 3. They can't etch it, but maybe we can laser cut the number in one of the tabs. So let me try that for you, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. So we're going to start with this one, and this is it's a very easy stencil to use. We're going to play with some inks from Fun Stamper's Journey, which is part of the Spellbinders brand of companies, and I have got their inks at an unbelievable price. I mean, a crazy price. The inks usually, and these are full-size pads, the inks usually retail for, I believe, $7.95, and we have got them in groupings, color groupings, at $3.45 a pad, and I believe it's $3.45. And if you just want the open stock, they're all the way down to $3.99 a pad, and I must have maybe 30 different colors. So I'll show you the groupings a little later, but these are, again, a Spellbinders product from Fun Stamper's Journey. There is absolutely nothing wrong with these inks. They're beautiful, and wait till you see how they blend. I'm going to start with some white paper, and we're just going to get going. So I've got my 3 stencils here. My 1, my 2, and my 3. And really, these can go either way. It makes no difference. It's however you want to do them. And if you just wanted to do a stripe, you could just do a stripe. But these are not plaid. This is not a plaid stencil. Everybody looks at it and says, oh, plaid. No, it's not. Now, I'm going to start pretty darn simple. And I'm going to take some Sizzix Maker's tape, and I'm going to put some tape down here. And I'm going to put some tape down here. And then I'm going to leave some tape. I'm going to put one on here, kind of up over here, and one down here. And I'm going to leave 2 tabs with nothing on them. And the reason I do that is so that when I layer my next stencil, those are my markings. Those are my guides to see where to layer it up, because you'll see it'll have a clear defined line by the time I'm done inking. Now, I always start with my lightest color ink, and I'm going to use Summer Days. Okay, I know that looks orange, right? This looks really orange, but hello. That's not orange. When it goes on, it is as yellow can be. And again, Fun Stamper's Journey, beautiful ink, great ink. Now from Couture Creations, look at this. Sold individually with these cute little hats. And they slide right in and lock into place, and the brushes don't touch the tip of it at all. And SMS Girl Doris, when she saw that we had these as open stock, we are doing the large and the medium. I think she took 10 of the large, and she marked them all up with her yellow, so she knows this is her yellow one. These are blending brushes, and we've been selling them in kits in the packs, as has everybody else, but Couture Creations brought them in as singles and value priced. So this retails for $5, and they're on sale, and it's like it almost has like a little guide in there, and this just slips right on in, and then your lid doesn't come off. Isn't that pretty wonderful? So I have these for you today, and I'm going to start with my yellow. So I'm just going to tap in, and I'm going to kind of tap off over here. I just want to see what kind of color I'm getting. And then I'm going to go in, and I'm going to add my yellow. Now it's up to you how yellow you want it to be. Completely up to you how dark you want that yellow. I'm just going to go in there and get some color down. And how did I make my, I've put yellow on, I've written yellow. I just took my paint pen. I took my Yoshida Marvi paint pen, my silver one, and I just went and just wrote on top of everything. So eventually that paint pen might wear off because I put my finger there, but then I just write it again. And I also put it all over my cap, so I know, even though nothing touches, that way I know what color I'm looking for, what color blending pen. Love that they're sold individually now. Love, 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 because I do love the big ones the most. They are my most favorite. So I'm just inking up, easy peasy, mac and cheesy. And I can decide how dark I want my color. See, I told you it's pretty yellow, right? I mean, that almost looks orange. That absolutely looks orange. But when it comes on out, it is way yellow. It's sunshine yellow. I hope it comes through the camera like sunshine yellow, because that really is what it is. Okay, so now I've put some ink over those tabs. See, I've inked over the tabs. And I've gone way outside my stencil, which is perfectly fine. When I peel this up, I can clearly see by the tabs where to layer my next stencil. So let me put this one over to the side. Here's my next stencil. It is not the same as the first. The stripes are different thicknesses and in different places. There's a reason why we just didn't flip the first one over. And I can put my tape back on. It might be a little high. No, I think that's okay. Put my tape back on. And bring in my next color. So my next color I'm going to do, and I'm just going to put this one away. My next color I'm going to do is orange. And I'm using a medium size for my orange, excuse me. Now, Citrus Cooler and Summer Days look almost the same on the packaging, but remember, Summer Days is yellow, yellow, and Citrus Cooler is far more orange. And I'm going to go right over the top. Right over the top of my yellow, right over the top of my stencil, and add some orange. Now when I'm done, I could stop here and call it done, and I would have, well, I'll show you what we'll have. Could call it done and be done, which does give you kind of a plaid-y look, but I'm not looking for plaid. I'm looking for geometrical, because I want you to be able to use this for guy cards, and you should see the guy cards we have. Now this stencil is masking off some of the yellow that I put down to begin with, but it's also allowing me to go over the top of some of the yellow, which is why you start with the lightest color first. If I had put red down first, and then I put yellow on top of it, well, red is a much stronger color than yellow. It's much more saturated than yellow, and the yellow would just absorb into the red. You would never be able to see it. So with this stencil, you always want to start with your lightest color first. Okay, you think we're good? All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and say we're done. Well, I said that right, but I didn't do it. All right, and then I'm gonna slide my little guy right back in there and put him away. Love that. And let's take off my Sizzix Makers Kit tape. And let's see what I've got. So now I've got my, I could stop right there and just call it done if I wanted, but you can see that the stripes are at different thicknesses and different placements. I don't want to be done. I really want it to look very geometric. Don't want it to look like plaid. Not that there's anything wrong with plaid, and if you use pastel colors, it really looks like plaid. But I want to just get this so that if we were to do it for a guy card, it looks a little bit more masculine. So I'm going to come in here with my red. And looky, I've got a red brush. And it says red. How long will it take me to go ahead and mix them up? I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. Now I'm going to use Cranberry Bliss, which is red. And I'm going to come in, and again, I'm going to go over the entire stencil. And now it's covering up some of the orange that I've done. I'm layering color on top of that orange. I'm okay with that. The stencil is masking off other areas of the colors that I've already done, of the yellow and the orange. It's not hard. All it takes is for you to layer the stencils 1, 2, 3 right on top of each other. And with the diagonals, it really doesn't matter which one is number 1 and which one is number 2. It really doesn't matter. All that matters is that the most geometric looking one, go on last. What do you think? Got enough red going? All right, let's see what we got. How's that? The white stays white, the yellow stays yellow, the orange stays orange, and the red has given you a beautiful geometric. Now I could, let's just pull off my tape. I could go in there, and because we've got that really nice white border around it, I could cut and keep that white border. So it almost looks like it's got its first layer of matting. So if you have never tried stenciling before, simply to find Kaleidoscope stencils. My layering stencils are so easy and they make you look so good. Because like, how did you do that? How did you get those colors? How did that happen? What did you do? And it's not a plaid. It can be, it absolutely can look very much like a plaid, depending on the colors you use, but stronger, bolder colors. Can you imagine this in, well, we're gonna do it, in browns, and it just screams beautiful, amazing background. And for guys, yay. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside and I'm gonna take these, I'm just gonna take a baby wipe. Take a baby wipe and wipe them down. The stencils are going to stain. Pretty much no matter whose ink you're going to use, at some point your stencils are just going to be the color that they are. It doesn't hurt the stencil, it doesn't hurt your paper, it doesn't hurt your finished product. And a stencil that is not colored is a stencil that has not been used. Gosh, having these, the brushes and the singles, so I'm probably going to end up with probably 8 of these. So my one that's red, I would use for all shades of red. My one that's yellow, I would use for all shades of yellow. I don't need one for every color I own. I need one for the color families, and I love the large ones. But the medium ones have their place too. I'll show you, well, we'll use some of them for the medium when we get to that. But the mediums have their place too. And some people like the mediums better because they have a little more control over where they put the ink. So I'm just going to wipe these down because we're going to use them again. And I think that's it. I'm going to be good with that. So I've got 1, 2, nope, it's definitely not that way. They must crisscross. The stencils must crisscross. You don't want them going in the same plane. The diagonals, well, I suppose you could just make a whole different card doing that. Absolutely. That's a whole nother look. Without question. But for what I'm doing, they need to criss and they need to cross. Either way, however you do it, whatever, it makes no difference. And then the last one is here. So I'm going to take another piece of white paper, and this time I think we might do, how about some, I don't know, how about some blues? How about some blues maybe, or some grays and some blues. Ooh, decisions. Let's start with Beach Breeze. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but we're just going to try. All we're doing, it's only paper, right? Oh, I can hear things coming upstairs. It's probably SMS Michael Jr. hauling stuff. Oh, maybe it's the postman. He doesn't always ring twice. Okay, that was shameful, I know. All right, so up on the top. This time I'm just going to do a good one up on the bottom. And let's do some Beach Breeze. Oh, see, I almost used my red for Beach Breeze. Let's get some blue. Let's see what color Beach Breeze is. Ooh, okay. So it's pulling a little yellow off the stencil that was already on there. I don't care. And I'm not blending it in as soft and as easy as I could be. There's going to be some highs and some lows. And again, I don't care. I just want to get some color down. And let's see what happens when we move on. All right. I will tell you, these inks have got, they've got a smell to them. Some of them have an absolute smell. Don't know what that smell is, but they do. Oh. All right, we're good? We're happy? All right. So that's where I'm at. Now let's bring my next one, and it has to crisscross. If it doesn't crisscross, it's not going to give you again, these are your stencils. I suppose you can do them any way you so see fit. I'm lining up my tabs. See where I can see my tabs on both sides? That's what I'm using as my guide to line up my stencil so I know that I'm in the right place. Tape down my top and my bottom again. I can pull it right off of the last one. And I think I'll stay with my blues, only go with a darker blue. Let's see what we think. That's definitely darker. Let's give it a whirl. I want this one to be a little more masculine. So imagine your browns and your grays and your blacks. And again, I'm just going over. So I'm covering up some of the blue I just did with the light blue. That Ocean Beach Breeze is what it was called. But the stencil, the second stencil I've laid down, is also masking some of it, so that the dark blue doesn't touch it at all. And you can see, I'll hold it up. You can see the light blue underneath. So you can see like the light blue squares where they are underneath, where they've been masked off. And now I have my dark blue. So let's pull it up. And again, you could be done right there and just call it good. But I want to take it one step further. I want to take it one step further. Hopefully my red will be okay. And let's go ahead and put down my maker's tape. Okay. Oh, found you. This time I'll do a little edge so I can find it. And again, at the top, I'm going to line it up. I can see clearly where my tabs are, so I just match them up and put some Sizzix Maker's tape at the top and some at the bottom. And this time I'm going to put some on the sides too. Just a little bit, because I'm not going to add a third Spellbinders ink to this. I'm going to add an iZink pigment-based ink. So now these the 3 colors that I have today are not new colors. I'm using gold and silver and copper today. Not new colors. If you bought the iZink pigments before and you got the I Want It All, you already have this one. But I'm going to come over and now go over this in my pigment-based ink. And I'm going to take the ink straight to it. And you're going to see that that blue, some of that dark blue that I just put on, is going to get covered by my pigment-based ink. And I'm just taking it straight from the pad and going straight in. So this is where having a layering stencil is a benefit, because you could not get all of these colors in unless you had the masking from the different stencils. Okay, and yes, you can get it off with water. Think that's good? I think that's probably more than good. So now it looks like I've changed the whole thing to silver. What did you do, Stacy? You should have stopped while you were ahead. Wait, let's see what it looks like when I unmask it. I feel very much like, ooh, in awe. Oh, what do you think? Uh-huh. Now that's a pigment-based ink. So that ink is wet. It takes a longer time to dry because it's pigment-based. You know, your A, C, D, P's. I have to remember A now. But see, it comes right off with water, or with I'm using a baby wipe. In fact, I think I'm going to take 2 baby wipes. And okay, 2 baby wipes. And get that all cleaned up, done. What do we think? Now, because it takes longer and because it's a pigment-based ink, well, you know what? I think I'm going to do one more. I'm going to put this one to the side. And I'm going to do one more. And maybe I want some, do I have some, how about this? And this. Oh, how about this? I don't know. I haven't opened these colors. Look at, they're new. I'm going to do it one more time. We're going to do one more. And I'm just going to go, go, go. I need to open my colors first. That would be a help. Ooh, banana cream and pumpkin bread. Don't those sound lovely? Time for a snack. We've got banana cream and pumpkin bread and pineapple smoothie. But I think I am going to use banana cream and pumpkin bread. All right, let me go ahead and tape it on down. Get myself a nice little piece of this and then put my little... So this is Sizzix Maker's tape. It's meant to hold down dies, but it works perfect for this. And it just goes right on those nice little tabs. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. And I'm going to start with banana cream, which would be in my yellows. So now that, again, looks very orangey. Oh, I got some blues on it. I should have wiped my thing down better. Oh, well. We're going to go. It is what it is. No, no, no. I'm going to open up a new one. I've got a new one. I'm going to open up a new one. We're going to put that one aside. I'm going to finish that one. But I want to do it. I want to do it right. Oh, somebody's just texting me. Hello. I have no idea who you are, but okay. Let's see. Let me grab a new set. Because I want a clean set. I want it to go down right. So there. And there. Get my blue. Okay. Yeah, see, better, no blue to it. I'm not going to make green. So you're going to wipe your stencil down a little better than I did. But for sake of time, I just grabbed a new one so I can have a clean look. Oh, I don't know. Maybe do I want to use that color? Gosh, now I'm not sure what I want to use. I have thoughts. Maybe contradicting colors would be better. I like the banana cream. Well, it's a shade of yellow, so of course I do. But it's a little softer. All right. I am all inked up and I am good with that. Got all my corners, got my lines. All right, I'm good with that. Let's see what the pumpkin bread looks like. I don't actually have one for browns yet. I don't know. What do you think? Well, it's only paper. We're just going to go for it. Take this one off. Put on my next diagonal. They have to crisscross. But it doesn't matter which diagonal goes down first, just so long as they crisscross. If they don't crisscross, it's a no-go. And another one up there. And I can pull that one off there. I'm a little off. Let me straighten that out just a little bit. I can see that there's a little white showing. There we go. All right, so let's do it, shall we? Let's go for it, right? If I hate it, I can come in with a darker color. What if I blend a little bit? What if I go a little pumpkin? But what if I add a third color before I put my other stencil down? I have no idea. What if I add a third color? I think I want that dark blue. So I'm going to have a brown one. I'm going to need to write. Okay, so paint pen and brown, brown, and B-R-N, brown. So now I've marked it. Not beautifully, but it's done. And I can just slide it on in, and that way it's taken care of. Let's grab a blue. Let's grab that, my denim days. And let's find my blue. This is my yellow. This is my blue. And before I even put that third stencil on top, if I just throw a little blue over it. Not a lot, just a kind of a hit and miss. Not a lot. Okay, that's it. That's it. And then, gosh, I could take my paper towel. Let's wipe off some of this blue. See, look at that. See how clean it's coming? And go back in with just a little bit of my yellow and my pumpkin bread. This may, you know, I might have just gone too far. But it's only paper. You have to remember that. You're only using paper and your time. All right. Yellow, yellow. Let's pull it off. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. We have the last one to do. And let's pull. Grab me a piece. And I think I'm going to use the copper. I think I'm going to use the eye zinc copper. So remember, the only three that I'm using today are gold, silver, and copper, and these are pigment-based inks. So you want to throw embossing powder over the top of them? Perfect. They stay wet longer. They are not permanent inks. They're pigment inks, and there is a difference between pigment and permanent. Pigment is an alcohol-based ink that, or permanent is an alcohol-based ink that actually dries instantaneously almost, whereas pigment is meant to stay wet really, really, really long time. Let's just go in there, and I'm just going straight to paper. And it's got a foamy pad, so it pushes down nicely. I'm not doing this. I'm going straight down to paper. Ooh, that I think that sounded like a little car accident outside. Straight to paper, and not doing this. I'm not rubbing it. I don't want to pull the stencil, so I just want to push down into it. And I've covered the whole thing. And a beautiful, look at how beautiful metallic-y that is. Now let's see what we got. Oh, I see. I like it. It's got a little blue going on. It's got the copper. It's got the yellow underneath. Okay, that works for me. Yay. Okay, because you just never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. I love that. Oh my gosh, I love how the blue kind of blended on in. That is great for Guy. Okay, wipe off my stencil a little bit. And now I have options. What do I want to do with it? Let's put 1, 2, 3 over here. What do I want to do with it? Because I've got, remember we started just doing just this basic one. Look at how pretty is that? Can you do one all the same color? Ooh, do we have time? Then I did one with silver. And then I did one with copper and goldy. But what if I wanted to add to it even more? So let's cut this one out, because you're going to have to let it dry with the pigment. You are. And it's going to take quite some time. But what if you're in a hurry? Can you heat set? Yes, you can use your heat tool and heat set it so it dries faster. But I know that this is still wet. I'm just cutting out on the edges. You don't have to keep the border if you don't want the border. I've kept the border, but if you want to cut off the border and just have it, okay, so there I've kept the border all the way around. Oh, because I gave you a border. So if you want to keep the border, you can. These two, I've kept the border. This one, let me throw my trash away. I will cut the border off. So it just depends upon the look you're going for, but you have, again, options. All right. So this one I've cut the border off. This one I've left the border on. And if I want to, I can now take embossing powder. Let's get a paper, cut it in half, and let's get a clear embossing powder because I've inked it with that metallic ink, and I don't want to lose that metallic ink. But I want to add a little more definition to it, a little more depth, a little more oomph to it. I want it to even look more dimensional than it already does. Easiest way to do that is a detailed embossing powder. This is by Stampendous. It is their detailed clear embossing powder. We love detailed embossing powder. It's able to do big fat lines, but it also is able to do real skinny little lines. And so you really only need detail to be able to do everything. So I'm going to put it right over the top. And I'm a dumper. And then I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to let gravity do the work. So I'm just going to let gravity take it all the way down. And then I'm going to tap, tap, tap. Now for anybody who hasn't seen embossing powder before, this is pretty cool. It is. It's a pretty cool thing. Embossing powder is pretty much a ground up plastic that when you heat it, it goes from a powder like this to a solid. Can you use a blow dryer? No, you cannot use a blow dryer to heat it. The blow dryer doesn't get hot enough. You need a heating tool. There are two of them that we like on the market. Ranger makes one of them and Sizzix makes the other. So I was really nervous about cylinder tools until Sizzix came out with theirs. Boy, you can see I've got inky hands everywhere over it. It's a dual speed. It's definitely louder than the Ranger tool. It also works much faster than the Ranger tool, and I am still able to get as close to the paper as I want. So I'm going to start to heat. And as I'm heating, the embossing powder is turning from a powder to a solid. So, I've only done half of it. But look at the gloss, and it's only on the metallic because that's the only ink that stays wet long enough for the powder to adhere to stick to. Can you see the side is still dull and yucky? That's because I haven't put the heat to it. It hasn't turned that powder into a solid. But here you can clearly see it's now got this beautiful shine to it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you can literally see it happening. Try and get it to where you can actually see it turning. Oh, can you see it? Can you see it turning? Turn it around so I can hold it in my other hand. Tell if you could see it or not, but embossing powder is kind of like this aha moment for people. The first time they see it, they just, oh, it's just that kind of a moment for them. And how long does it take to dry? The minute it's cool. Done. Because it's a plastic, so it's cooled down. So, we've done it with just ink. We've done it with ink and a metallic, not using embossing powder. And then we've used embossing powder to raise it up just a little bit more, take it to a different level a little bit more. Pretty, right? And it's not plaid. That is where this card came from. You can do this. You can do this. Now I think I will do one more just in a solid color. What happens if you don't have a ton of ink to play with? You like the stencil, you want to play with the stencil, but you don't have lots of different inks and colors to play with. All right, so I'm going to do just one color. That's all I'm going to use is one color. And let's see what I can achieve if all you have is one color to play with. What color do we like? How about rustic rose? Oh, do we like the pink? How about rustic rose? Let's see if I can get it light enough. See, I want a big one. I want a big one. Well, we're going to just see if we can get it light enough in there Look at how soft I'm putting that rustic rose in there. I want a super light color. So there's almost nothing on my brush, and I'm taking off quite a bit before I put it onto my paper. I want it as light as I can get it. And still see color. All right, I think that I am good. Now again, you'll wash your stencils in between use. So there we have stencil 1. Look at how faint that color is. Look at how light it is. Now let's go with stencil 2. It has to crisscross. Line it up. And tape it down using those tabs as your guidelines. And now I'm going to go a little darker with my color. So this is just one color that I'm using. However, when you see the price on the inks, you might find yourself getting a few more inks than, oh, Stacy, than you thought. Especially if you don't have any inks to play with. These are excellent quality inks at a phenomenal price. So you can fill in, and please don't feel like you have to only use this brand with this brand. If you have Lawn Fawn, you can use Lawn Fawn with Stampin' Up! And Stampin' Up! With Fun Stamper's Journey, what I've got here, and you can use that with Tim Holtz, and it's really, they all can be used together. You don't have to just use your one brand with that same brand. Really, you buy the colors and the type of ink you like. If you have pigment ink from one company, you can use it with pigment ink from another company. It's okay. They'll play well in the sandbox together. They will. Same with dye-based inks, which is what this is. If you've got multiple brands of dye-based inks, put them together and play with them together. You're really looking more towards the color than you are the brand. Okay, you think that's dark enough? You think that's enough of a difference? You think that's darker? Okay, I have to leave room for one last one, so it's going to have to be darker. Oh yeah, absolutely it is. We've got the really light below and the darker on top. And now let's do our last stencil. And then we're going to move on to the second stencil, the New York Skyline stencil. And we're going to play with that one. Okay, right over the top. And let's tape it down. And let's tape it down. And this time I'm going to go dark, dark, dark. I look a little off. Said in the best way possible. Okay. Dark, 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 dark. Dark, 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 dark. One color ink, no problem. Dark, 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 dark. Blend, blend, blend. Get that ink in there and blend, blend, blend. Fill in all of those holes. Just go over, ooh, I moved it, Stacy. Go over all of the holes. Go over the entire stencil. You might not realize that there's a place to be stenciled if you just are looking for the empty holes. You got to go over the entire thing because you're coloring over the two colors that were there beforehand. But you only have a few colors and you want to be able to make multiple different types of backgrounds. Well, layering stencils are going to let you do that. Does that look dark enough? Do I need to be darker anywhere else? Okay, dark, dark, dark. Three different colors. One stencil. And trim it out. And then what you do with it is entirely up to you. And like I said, there's no right and no wrong to these stencils. You can layer them, you can flip them, you can mix them, you can match them. You can use just one, you can use just two. You get different looks depending on how you lay them down. I could have just done a diagonal and had a crisscross background. It's really a matter of what I like. But it's a great background stencil. And it looks awesome with the metallics. All right, I'm going to put those aside and we're going to move on. So let me take my pink and put my pink away. Oh, come on. No, Stacy, how about we do it right? There we go. I'm trying to put it in the wrong way. So it just kind of fits right in and then your lid doesn't, isn't that nice? Let's throw these away and let's pull out the next set, which is the Skyline set. So totally different stencils, that is for sure. This is the New York Skyline. And again, many different ways to use this. There are 3 stencils that make up the completed image, but you don't have to use all 3 stencils if you don't want to. You don't. You can use one, you can use 1 and 2, you can use 1 and 2 and 3, you can use 1 and 3. It's really up to you what you want your finished product to look like. I am going to start by just doing a very basic one. And I think for that, I will go ahead and use, I think I'll go ahead and use the grays, Rock Candy. So I'm going to start with stencil 1, which is the skyline, which is the buildings. That's stencil 1. Stencil 2 layers the detail of the buildings in on top. And then stencil 3 is actually, it's a mask that's going to hide all of that. So then you can do your sky, your night sky or your morning dawn or whatever it is that you're doing. So I'm going to start with just the buildings themselves. And I know you're here. Really? Okay, I give, oh, found that one. I give up. Let's take this one and then remind me to just put a little thing on it so I don't lose it next time. All right, so let's tape this one down. So I'm going to tape here. And I'm going to tape here. And I'm going to leave a couple, and I'll tape one on the side. I'm going to leave a couple so that I can ink on the outside of them to use them as my guideline. All right, so let's grab my black. Oh, here's my black. It says black. And I'm going to go in there. And I'm just going to add, this is rock candy, so it's kind of a gray looking. And I'm just going to get some color down. And I don't care if I start off on the side and color in, or if I start in the middle and I have a little spot there that's darker than the others. These are buildings. I'm good with that. I just really want to get my color in there. I don't want you to think that, oh, look at it, looks like a mess, I have to start all over again. No, it's character. You are an artist. This is your art. It is character. Okay, I think I'm going to be okay with that. Now I am going to come back in with a little bit of black, licorice black. I'm not going to change my blending tool because this is for my grays and my blacks. And I'm just going to add a little bit of black. Just to darken it up and add some shading and some shadow. And then I might come back with my rock candy one more time and layer a little more rock candy just to blend. And kind of smooth everything on out. Now I'm not trying to get that beautiful, smooth, seamless blend. I'm trying to give my buildings a little bit of texture. And there they are. Do we like them? We'll see. Time will tell. Okay, then I'm going to layer my second stencil over the top. Pull it up. And this is the detail to all of those buildings. There's only one way it can go. So line it up. Line it up. A little too much to one side. Let's see if I can get that. I can see it's a little, I think it's a little high. So there's my tab, and there's my tab. That looks better. And one more piece. And I'm going to go back in with my metallics this time. I'm going to do my metallics one more time. So how about we do gold? Let's try gold. This time I'm going to use a dauber, so a finger dauber with my gold. And I'm going to take that gold And I'm going to push it into every one of those little holes that makes up my windows. So finger dauber, ink, and I'm just going to push it in. Can I use my entire ink pad to go right over the top of the whole thing? Yes, I can. Up to you. So if I wanted, see, I'm using finger daubers and I've added my gold detail. Could I go in and do this? Yes, it's going to use a lot of your ink for such small little holes. In fact, I'm grabbing the ink that's there and putting it over here. Or you could push down like that, I suppose. And then just grab that ink and pull it in. Ooh, I don't know what's making the noise. There we go. Grab my ink and put it in. Grab my ink and put it in and fill in those little holes with my little finger dauber. And that's what's going to add the detail to my buildings. Otherwise, they're just flat buildings. Again, that's where a 3D stencil comes in, or a layering stencil comes in, is that if you just had the cityscape, you wouldn't be able to add in the detail that you want. Okay, what do you think? Think it's close enough? They're very little holes, but a finger dauber does a great job. Let's take a look. Yay! Now you've started to add the details to your city. But we're not done, because you have the last stencil, which actually acts as a mask. That's going to cover this entire thing up. I'm going to line it up. See, I've got my little tabs. I've got my little tabs where I've inked over them. That tells me, okay, that's where I line it up, here and there. I want to make sure my buildings are covered. And then I'm going to tape it down. And tape it down. And here and here. Now we start building our skyline. What do we want it to look like? Do you want it to be yellows into blues? What time of day is it for you? That's what you decide to color. Let's start with our yellows. I'm going to move those over there for right now. Let's start with our yellows. And I'm going to bring out my summer days and my yellow blender. And I'm going to add some yellows. Now let's go into some blues. So let's keep here's my black one. Here's my yellow one. Let's get my blue. And let's use some Denim Days. A little darker than I want, but for now it'll be okay. And put some blue and put that blue into the yellow. This is the seamless blending that everybody loves so much. That looks like you've airbrushed it. It's all about taking off. I'm taking off as much as I'm putting on. And I'm going down into my yellow. So then I'm going to bring my yellow back. And just blend a little bit into that blue. Just a little bit. Just so it's a little bit more seamless on the blend. Look at that. Easy peasy. Now, let's take maybe a little purple. So, yellow. Look at how good I'm being. Blue. Purple. Let's grab a little purple. I don't know if this is dark enough purple. Oh no, not dark enough purple. Let's find a darker purple, shall we? What have I got in here? Grape Fusion. Deep Lilac. Let's see what color Deep Lilac is. Oh. Oh, yeah. Look at how nice Deep Lilac is. Let's do some purple. Right over the top into the blue. And then just to cement it, and I don't know, again, we're gonna just see how it looks. I'm gonna go back into my denim just a little bit, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of really dark towards the top. Just really dark. Just kind of anchor it. Just kind of anchor that in there. Dark. Not much, just towards the on that very top line. Look at, not very much, just on that very top line. And then I'm going to come back with my purple. And kind of blend that in. Just so it's seamless. Okay. Are we ready? What do you think? I love it. I do. Let's trim it out. Out. Trim it out. Do you always have to have a skylight or a night light sky? No, you can do it in the day too. And you've got that metallic coming up. Yay! What if we wanted to do something a little more daylight than nighttime? Although, can you see all you can do with these? Okay, oh, they're gonna have a whole pile of these to wash when I'm done. All the SMS girls get one for free. Everybody gets one for free here at SMS because I've used so many. Again, you would wash yours. You can wash them and use them again and again and again and again. But for me to wash, we'd be here for the rest. Well, we're already going to be here a while. But okay, let's do one that's more daytime. Start with my stencil. And down. And down, and down. Okay, so this time I'm going to do one like I did that I showed you earlier. I'm going to start with Summer Day, so I'm going to start with yellow. Yellow, and I'm just going to go straight down. Now let's move to red. Yellow away. It's going to take me a while to get used to these. No, yes. Find the little thingy there. Yes, red. And that's going to be Cranberry Bliss. And my red. And down a little into my yellow. Straight down. Now if I want, I can bring my yellow back. And just kind of go right over the top of the red to give a nice seamless blend. And now let's do blue. Straight down. Because I'm making the lines of the building. And then I can take a little bit of my red and come back in and just blend so it's a nice seamless blend. And so now I've got my yellow, my blue, my red. Let's go green. And straight down. And my blue. A little more green. And let's do purple. This time I will use the Lavender Fusion. So this is where maybe having a medium might be a little bit better because they are going into each other. But you know what? That's what a rainbow does. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go. And last but not least, well, I don't know how the orange is going to look next to the purple, but you know what? See, the medium's a little bit smaller, so a little bit more control in smaller areas. Okay, so I've got my New York skyline. Boy, they have a weird smell to them, some of them do. They do. I'm not exactly sure what the weird smell is, but they work great. Maybe it's just because they're so juicy. So orange, purple. Love that the caps don't come off. Blue. SMS Girl Doris is so proud of me right now. And yellow. And last but not least, green. Oh. Okay, now what am I going to do with it? Well, let's add our detail. Let's take off. Oh my gosh, I love it. I do. Let's grab our detail, which is right here. But I'm going for a daytime scene, right? I'm not going for night skyline. I'm going for New York in the day or city skyline in the day. So let's get some here and some here. This time I'm going to pull out what you probably already own. And if you don't, you really should. I'm going to pull out my unicorn ink from Hero Arts, my white ink from Hero Arts. Hero Arts unicorn ink has a re-inker. Now this is what my pad looks like after using it and using it and using it. This is what it looks like when you start. Please don't worry if it looks like this eventually. It's going to be just fine. Really it is. And the re-inker, easy to use. You just open it, put it right on the top. It tends to be a little thick because it's a pigment-based ink. And then you just kind of smudge it on in. And you're good to see it's a pigment-based ink. Look at how wet that is and how thick that is. So I'm going to take a finger dauber. I'm going to take a finger dauber and I'm going to go right into my unicorn ink, and then I'm going to come right in over the top, just like I did with my metallic pigment-based inks. Only I want these windows to be more white than metallic. And I'm just going to come in here and get all those windows nice and white. Could I take the ink pad straight to the paper? Yeah, I could do it right on top of the stencil. You'll use up more ink that way than versus a finger dauber. Will it be faster? Yes. But you'll use up more ink that way. It just takes a few minutes to get all of the detail done. And really, it's all in the detail, isn't it? Otherwise, I mean, a skyline stencil is a skyline stencil. Lots of people have skyline stencils. I wanted to add some more depth to it, and getting the windows and the being able to do the actual beautiful sunset or whatever sky you're looking for. It makes a complete card without having to add anything else but a sentiment. It adds a complete element to your scrapbooking layouts without having to do anything more to it. Don't just think that these are card making tools. They're not. They're for mixed media and altered art and people who do quilting and things like that. You could take fabric inks and ink this onto your fabrics before you sew. They're a tool. How you use that tool is up to you. Okay. Alrighty. So I think I've got a fair amount of white going on. But if I'm not happy, I just have to put my stencil back down. So now I've covered up all my windows with unicorn white ink. Let's take off my, put that one there and put that one there. It makes a difference. It does. But what if I really want them to look like windows? What if I'm going to keep that kind of close in case I want to go back. What if I really want them to look like windows? What do? I grab that clear embossing powder. Clear embossing powder. And they're really going to look like windows because I'm going to add that gloss look to them. So I want to make sure I've got embossing powder over all of my little white windows. And then I want to flick off anything I have left. I only want that embossing powder to hold where that ink, that white ink, is still wet. Well, let's just try and see. And it's clear embossing powder because I've got white ink, pigment ink down. And it's detailed embossing powder. And this is where the detail becomes very important, because if I was using a standard embossing powder, what would happen is that the grains are thicker. And so when it melts more and it kind of blobs out. Whereas a detail, the granules are so fine that when they melt, they still hold all the dimension. So I'm gonna heat this, and it's gonna go super fast. Super fast. And I can see it changing as I move my tool. And I just travel up my building. And now what I've got is the gloss. You still got white. It's a little more subtle because you put the clear on top of it, but now they really look like windows. But I'm not done. I need to go back and I need to add I need to mask over my whole thing so I can do my sky. And remember, we're just going to do a summer sky. So one of the inks that Spellbinders has in the Fun Stampers Journey collection is called, I think it's like Lovely Blue. And Lovely Blue is a lovely blue, but it is very much a sky blue. Come on, line me up. All right, we're just gonna go with it. Go, 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 go. It's very much a sky blue. It's very faint. And so it is more of a direct to paper type of ink than a stamping ink. Let me see, I know I've got it here. It's Lovely Blue is what it's called. I wanna put this down good. Lovely Blue. So the color of it is very, very faint. When you are using it, if you were to put this on a stamp and then try and stamp with it, it is going to be hard to see. But if you want a blue that kind of outlines your stamp, you know how they do with images and then they have this faded blue around the outside? This is perfect for it. For this, I'm going to go straight to paper, just to get a nice base coat in there. Let's straight to paper. And then where it can't get in, then I'm going to come back and with my blue, I'm going to come back in and really get it juicy and go back in and go over the top. Just to fill in just to fill in. And I've got a beautiful sky blue. Beautiful sky blue. I could go and maybe add a little yellow. I don't know if it's too late because I've got the blue in there. If it's going to turn it green, it might. Maybe we add just a little bit of darker blue just at the top, just to kind of cement it. Always just a little darker blue just at the top, just to it kind of anchors it. And then I can come back, get that off, come back with my lovely blue, and kind of blend it back in so it's a little softer. And I don't know if we're going to ruin it or not, but yes, no, maybe, I don't know, maybe we want it a little bit lighter in there. What if we want a little bit lighter down below? Could we take our Hero Arts and just kind of soften it with some of the pigment, just so it's a little lighter? So it's a little bit whiter. Blue, blue. Okay, do we see? Do we see? Makes my heart happy. But we're not done yet. Almost. One more to go. One more to go. One more thing I want to show you. What do you think? Same stencil, totally different look. Options, options. Okay, I'm gonna go one more time. I'm gonna use one more clean set so we can move on. Blue, blue. All right, so let's grab one more clean set and one more piece of paper. Remember, all you have to do is baby wipe yours and clean yours. I'm going to start here, and I think I'm going to keep it pretty light. And no, I'll do the grays and blacks. Maybe I'll do blues. Maybe a light blue, medium blue. Decisions, 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 right? What if I do a little gray and blue? So let's go with my black, and let's go with some rock candy. And let's get some color in here. And again, I don't care. I'm not trying to do that beautiful seamless blend for my buildings. No, I want a little grunge. I want a little texture to them. I'm looking for that. That's what gives the buildings character. So if I do a little gray, and then maybe we mix in a little bit of blue. A little bit of blue. And then maybe I go back with my gray just a little bit. Just to blend all the color together. That way it's got some dimension to it. It's not gray, it's not blue. It's kind of a nice little hodgepodge of the two of them. Okay. Now let's do our windows. And I think I'm going to do my windows in silver metallic. Oh, hello, somebody. Somebody just texted me. Line them all up. Use those tabs as your guide. So you're going to ink outside the tabs a little bit, so you stencil those as well, so you can use them as your guide. Okay, and let's grab my silver and a dauber. And let's go in and get some silver and silver my buildings on up. And again, if you want and you want to be faster and you don't mind using the ink, you absolutely can go straight over the top. You can go straight over the top and then come back and grab that ink to finish the rest of it. All right, let's just do it. So the 3 ink pads that'll be on sale are just the gold, the silver, and the copper. All right, that's good. Let's take a look at my windows. Right? Cool, right? Let's throw some embossing powder over the top of that. Let's grab my white embossing powder, which is right here. And get it all over my buildings. So anywhere that gray metallic is, the embossing powder is going to stick to it. And then I want to kind of tap off. Make sure I got that embossing powder over all of my silver. That's important, over all of your silver. There we go. And then I'm gonna tap off. Ooh, there it goes. And let's heat set that so that now my silver will be completely embossed. All right, so heat tool. And you can see it turning. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up or not. Okay, now all I have to do is my skyline, but I want to do my skyline without ink. I want to do my backdrop without any ink. How am I going to do that? Easy peasy. We're going to do the same thing. We're always going to mask up. Right here, we're going to put the mask right on our stencil. Tape it on down. And this time I'm going to use a Versamark. So we're back where we were before. We were then adding ink to do the finishing touches. Now I'm going to Versamark the whole thing. All my background I'm going to put Versamark on. All at the same time. All at the same time. Do the whole thing. Versamark. What is Versamark? It is an embossing medium. It's pretty much like having a pigment-based ink that's clear. It stays wet long enough for you to add embossing powder to it. Okay. I can then look at it. Oh, I see I missed a spot. I can then look at it and I can get a watermark off of it, and I can see where I've maybe missed a spot and need to add some more. Like right there and right there. You just want to make sure you've got full coverage. Then I'm going to take my Pearl Luster Embossing Powder Kit. This is a Stampendous kit that was done exclusively for Scrapbooking Made Simple. All that's in here is their pearlescent embossing powders. They're beautiful. And they're sold in such little jars that you get a huge assortment, but it takes you forever to use it. So having a little jar of green is okay because it's going to take a long time for you to use that little jar of green. But let's say you love the yellowy and you use this all the time. The nice thing is that they also sell them in full size. So if you run out of one color, you don't have to buy the set all over again. And it's an exclusive set that was done just for us. And it's their pearl lusters. So all of them have this beautiful kind of sheen to them. I'm going to start with what looks like yellow. And I'm going to drizzle that yellow kind of where I would put the yellow ink. And I'm going to kind of just drizzle it on over. And I don't want to tap it off so much. If I were to tap it off, I would tap downward. If I tap upward and I move it and I slide it this way to get all of it to run off, if I was trying to get it off, it would fill all this area in. All I want to do is really just kind of tap it around. And if it taps up, tapping up is fine. I just kind of want to tap it all around. And let's put a little more maybe over here. I want it to marry into the next color, just like we were doing with the ink. Maybe a little more down there. So there's really no extra, there's no waste, because I'm just tapping it into place. And I literally am just tapping the bottom to kind of make it move. Then I'm going to grab my next color. And I think my next color will be the blue. Ooh, I wonder how dark that purple is going to be. We'll see. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drizzle on my blue. Now I don't want to tap it all the way to the top. I need to leave room. I'm going to do one more color, but I'm just kind of going to move it around and have it fill in some spaces. And if I need a little more, I add a little more. And can you see how some of the blue has gone up there? That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. It kind of fades into there. Now I don't know what color this purple is. We're just going to give it a try and see what we get. I have no idea. Didn't use this purple before. Ooh. So now I'm going to put a little bit of that purple down. And same thing. Just kind of want to tap it all over. If it goes into the blue, so be it. If you need a little more blue, add a little more blue. Because I don't want to use ink at all. What this is going to do is give this a completely different look. To where that backdrop, that sky, is going to look amazing. All right, I think I'm pretty good. All we can do is try. Good thing about embossing powder, if you have to add more, you can. Let's get my heat tool. And it's going to slowly start melting it. And you want to be quick about it. Oh, nope, I'm not done. And now look at my background. That's using embossing powder. How quickly does it dry? The minute it's cool, it's dry. Let's cut it out. So you don't want to sit there with your heat tool all day long because the stencil's plastic. And in fact, what's nice about the Sizzix tool is that it has a slower mode. So you just want to get in, heat, and get out. But my gosh, it dramatically changes the look of your finished product, of your card or your embellishment. That embossing powder then becomes, it's such a wow factor. So pretty and so easy to do. So my My windows have got silver metallic on them, and then with a clear embossing powder, and then I use that pearlescent luster. Look at the color, look at the shine that comes off of it. Options. See, that makes that sky pop. What makes your heart happy? Which one speaks to you? And then you finish them all off using the Versus stamps. These stamps were picked specifically for these stencils. They were. The stamps, the Versus stamps that we do are always picked specifically for the stencils that I've designed. You can do this. Stamp a sentiment, put it on, a little bit of ribbon, and you are good to go. It makes the card for you. Use this, put a baby picture right there. Is that beautiful? All right. Holy smokes, artichokes. Okay, blue, blue. We did so much today, and I didn't even get a chance to really to stamp it all, but you'll see them in the samples, and the stamps really are, they're just great. They say beautiful things, and they really were meant to go with the stencils, and we all love Versus. Versus are made by Art Gone Wild and Friends, who also makes Stampers Anonymous, Darcy's, Inky Antics, Northwoods. So all of them are made by the same company, so you know the quality is amazing. All right, so again, what did we go over? We went over layering stencils and what layering stencils are and how you use them to achieve that beautiful look of dimension to a design as opposed to it just being flat, and that you can take it to the next level by layering on a pigment-based ink and then embossing it. But you can also just use one ink if it makes your heart happy. I just used one color ink and did the different saturations. I took it off really light for the base and then just kept adding it darker and darker as I went on. Then I played with the nighttime with my cityscape stencil, and adding that detail is the finishing touch. It really is what makes it pop, is that extra detail and being able to do the backdrop, the skyline seamlessly, like it looks like a postcard, like somebody painted this, but you did this. And my gosh, pull out those embossing powders or get the pearlescent embossing powders from Stampendous, because it is beautiful. All right, let me show you what's on sale and then let me get to samples. So on sale, we have the inks from Spellbinders, the Fun Stamper's Journey. We have got several different sets. This is the Wisteria Blossoms set. And this is the Sunrise to Sunset. We took the inks and we put them in color palettes that we thought would make sense for you. So this is all of your reds and your yellows, and we tried to put them in color palettes that we thought would make sense for you. Can you buy them open stock? Yes, you can. But we also put them together in color palettes that we hope would make sense for you. I believe that there are 9 color palettes, and they have anywhere from 3 to 6 inks each. So the price is going to vary depending on how many inks they have. Here you have Dusk to Dawn, and it's all of your blues. All the different colors of your blues. And again, it's all by Spellbinders. So your lovely blues, straight, and your Beach Breeze, I mean all your blues. And and they retail for, I believe, $7.95. If you buy them open stock, they're $3.99. And then if you buy the I Want It All bundle for each color, if you just want the blues, you can only buy the blues I Want It All. It's at a lower price than $3.99. Can't remember if it's $3.50, but it's a lower price than $3.99 per pad. So we gave you even a better deal if you bought the entire color palette. And like I said, oh my gosh, the tropical set. The tropical set is gorgeous. I didn't even get to show you the tropical set. Tropical set. So I was using all of these. I used things out of every one of the different sets. And like I said, there's 9 of them. Here we have beach blues or pool blues. And our blacks and grays. So everything from what's tin pail, rock candy I used a lot today. There's Riverstone, black licorice I used today. To our garden green colors. And again, you can buy just one color if that's all you're looking for. But the better value is if you buy them all together. And even if you just buy the one color, that's still, it's half off the price, their normal selling price. I think if you go to spellbinders.com, you will find that they are at a much higher price. This is Cup of Joe, is what I named this one, Cup of Joe. So I named the collections because I put the colors palettes together. Okay, we've got that. I've got the 2 stencils, exclusive to scrapbookingmadesimple.com. You've got the cityscape and you've got the background stencil that gives you a very geometric, wonderful looking background. You've got the verses stamps, exclusive to Scrapbooking Made Simple. We have got the 3 color inks from Aladdin. If you bought them before, you will already have them. If you haven't, these will be new to you. But if you bought the Aladdin Eye-Zinc pigment inks in the gold, silver, or I believe it's the copper, then you already have them and you don't need them. Chances are you already have the Hero Arts ink, the unicorn, Wahoo Kachu. You might already have clear detailed embossing powder. You may already have Versamark. Yay. If not, they'll be on sale. And then the Stampendous Perlustic embossing powders that I used today, which were just gorgeous. It's my favorite, actually. And then last but not least, the 2 sizes of the new blending brushes sold as singles with their own little lids. Okay, now let's get to the fun stuff. Let's get to the samples. All right, so this one I already showed you. So there's the background stencil. Here's the background stencil. Here's our city scene. Now you can absolutely reverse the stencils and have the Chrysler building over here or here. It just depends upon how you lay them down, which direction you lay them down. Background. Background with embossed silver. Ooh, that embossing just adds a little something to it. So it's done in grays and the mauves, and then we use the metallic ink and clear embossing powder. Here we've just stamped, and again the stamps are all verses. Look at how beautiful is this. The world is a book. If you do not travel, you read only a page. So the world is a book. If you do not travel, you read only a page. What do we think of that? All done with the background. And the verses stamps. Dream big, reach far, shine brightly, you are a star. Dreams. It's one of the verses stamps. Look at how simple is this. Look at the inspire. That's one of the verses stamps. So here's the inspire. Here's the exact same inspire with the city. I want to make sure I wasn't supposed to look inside. With the cityscape. Look at that inspire done in embossing powder. Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, here's one I was playing with, just doing the background with the, I love the pearlescent powder. And see, if you want to be platy, you can be platy. Just depends upon the colors that you use. Such a dramatic difference. From something like this to something like that. A dramatic difference. Look at how pretty is this. And here they put the paste through it. Look at that, that's beautiful. And they used the paste through the stencil. Okay, another pile. I showed you this one already. And again, a verses, the best things in life are unseen. That's why we close our eyes when we kiss, laugh, or dream. Cut not the wings of your dreams, for they are the heartbeat and the freedom of your soul. That is a stamp in the verses sentiment. And look at the metallic on there, and it's embossed. Oh, make my heart happy. All the different things, all the different options that you have, from the cute and the whimsical to the sophisticated. Look at this. This one says, oh, the best things in life are unseen. That's why we close our eyes when we kiss, laugh, or dream. Look at this. Life is the music that dances through our days, our nights, and our years. It's one of the verses. And this was a last-minute addition that Doris did. Life is wonderful. Don't forget it. It's one of the stamps. There's 2 verses sets and 2 stencil sets. Life is wonderful. Don't forget it. And then you have to check out the new decor. These are the new decor pieces that we literally just got in, and the girls absconded with them. Look at how pretty these are. Life is wonderful. Don't forget it. Life is the music. Saddle up. I don't know. She cut all that from something, but she used the background stencil to do this. Look at how cute is that. Saddle up. That is not part of the verses. Again, this is one of the new decor 3 or small little card pieces. You get 24 of them and 8 different. They're not part of this YouTube, but when they got here, the girls went crazy for them. They started decorating everything with them. Life is the music that dances through our days, our years, or our days, our nights, and our years. That's the stencil. That's the stencil. Dream big, reach far, shine brightly, you're a star. See, I mean, such different, just depending on what inks you use, it changes the look of the stencil. Totally different. So cut not the wings of your dreams, for they are the heartbeat and the freedom of your soul. Same stamp. Embossed, stamped. And then we have, okay, I made this one. This was my first one when I got the stencils in to play with, when I finally got the prototypes. I did that one with it. And then inspire and dream. So inspire and dream come in the verses. And then the background. And last but not least, so this is also done with that decor paper. Beautiful, isn't it? But not part of the YouTube Yummy yet. I plan on YouTubing it later this year. I just got them in. I didn't even know if we were going to like them. We like them. So there's the stencil, and she just carried it along. And the dream. So there's, let me back it up just a little bit. Oh, that didn't work. All right, maybe I won't back it up. Yeah, come on, back up just a little bit. So Claire's layout, and then this is Doris's layout. So again, you've got the inspire, and she used the paper that just got here. They're sold in little kits. You get 8 different designs, 3 of each design, and I think I have 12 or 15 different packs. But this is Doris's layout. Okay. Holy smokes, artichokes. I'm shocked my battery in my camera is still going. I think it's saying, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. All right, I hope you enjoyed this YouTube class. I hope you learned something new. I hope it reminded you of something that you can do. I hope it made you feel encouraged to try something that you might have been, I don't know, or I can never do that. Yes, you can. If I believe in you, you believe in you, and the rule is you can't throw it away until you finish it. So if you start something, you gotta finish it. And then if you don't like it, then you can toss it. But I guarantee you, if you start with the stencils or anything and you think you're making mud and you finish it and you walk away for a couple hours and you come back, all of a sudden it looks like you made a masterpiece. You can do this. Where are you gonna find most of these products? Well, you're gonna find the verses in the Simply Define only here because, well, they're exclusive to us, Scrapbooking Made Simple, but you might be able to find the Spellbinders inks at Spellbinders, maybe, but they're full price. And gosh, I go to your local retail store, your local mom and pop shop, and see what they've got, and go through your stash and see what you've got, and then pick up what you need. Use what you've got in there. If you use what you've got, and then pick up what you need. Otherwise, Just have fun. That's the key. Just have fun. Okay, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I will see you all later. Bye, everybody. Oh, bye.